Mass immigration has been going on steadily, regardless of what globalist mainstream party is in power, since the 1990s. And I will show data on that. Basically, what's happening, this is rapid, radical, organized replacement of Canada's traditional populations. And the data shows that. Canada is literally being radically transformed into a post-national, globalist, UN-like village. We will not have a distinct identity, distinct culture, distinct values, distinct heritage. Statues are being torn down. Euro-Canadians are being pushed down. And just the other day, there were all this spin in Ottawa about wanting to protect Francophone culture and heritage. It's all spin. It's not true. As long as you're supporting mass immigration, you are against the traditional population of Canada. That is a fact. And I will show the data right here. This is the mass immigration coming in. And you can see it here. Since 2000, 2001, it's been steady right across the board, irrespective of which globalist mainstream party is in power. And look under Harper, and then under Trudeau, except for 2016, it's been pretty much the same mass immigration. I want to show you this image now. So this shows the demographic reality of Canada, what's happening with mass immigration. And you can see the trajectory since 1981. This is visible minority population. Through the mass immigration, it is increasing in terms of total population. In 1981, it was 4.7%. 2001, 13.4%. And 2016, 22.3%. And there's a projection of 34.4% in 2036. And there's been estimates by 2100, it will reach 80% plus. That means Canada's traditional population will be 20% or less of the population. That is the dramatic, radical transformation that's taking place in Canada. The traditional population is literally being replaced by the federal government. And to put this in context, in 1960, Euro-Canadians represented 97% of Canada's total population. If things continue, they'll be less than 20 by 2100. Very troubling. I'm just going to shift on, I just want to touch on one aspect of the mass immigration, is that a lot of these globalist mainstream politicians, like Scheer, Bernay, Rempel, Kenney, they like to tell you that immigration, and by extension, mass immigration, is good for the economy. That's what they say. We disagree. We believe mass immigration is only good for select commercial interests, like speculators, banks, low-wage employers, developers, and also these globalist mainstream parties that get votes from these new immigrants coming in our country. We believe the majority of the Canadian people do not benefit. And we're going to back this up with facts right now. As most Canadian families know, and businesses, we as a people are overburdened with excessive extreme taxation. Canadians' families are facing 43.6% total income tax or more, depending on which province you live. Based on our calculations, Canadian families are paying 89 cents in tax on every dollar earned. 89 cents on every dollar earned, and that's total taxation on the Canadian families. They're left with 11 cents. 11 cents to pay for their shelter, to pay for their clothes, to pay for their children. They have no money to start up businesses. That is a reality. Another thing, over the past 40 years of this mass immigration, personal debt has increased 5 times. Inflation. From 1973 to 2017, the Consumer Price Index has increased by 432%. That means your dollar in your pocket has 432% less value in terms of consumer purchasing power. That's called inflation. Yet, over the past 40 years, average wages of Canadians have not budged. So the Canadian dollar is worth way less, yet you're getting paid the same. Another issue is housing. 80% of housing costs due to immigration, mass immigration, are due to that. Interest rates have remained low for Canadian families that make minimal profit from their savings. Even if you put savings, you're getting almost nothing back. Yet the housing costs have soared in major centers across Canada to the point that Canadian families cannot afford to buy a home. If we look at Vancouver, the average price of a house now is over $1 million. The average price of a condo is just under $700,000 a year. In Toronto, the average house cost of a house right now is over $765,000. Unemployment. Currently, the government rate is at 5.9%. But we believe this value is way undervalued. Because as soon as a Canadian who's unemployed stops looking for work, they're no longer considered unemployed. Not to mention, someone who is not even looking for work at the beginning is not even included in the statistics as unemployed. So we believe the number is closer to 10% or more. And yet we're told by the globalist mainstream politicians that mass immigration is good for the economy. The facts tell a different story. And you just need, you know because you're living it out there. Most Canadians can barely make ends meet and they're living paycheck to paycheck.